There's a certain kind of pop star the industry knows how to make, and then there's Chappell Roan. She didn't arrive quietly or conveniently. She emerged in full color, loud, theatrical, deeply emotional, like someone who refused to shrink herself to fit the mold. Blending raw vulnerability with glitter-drenched confidence, Chappell Roan isn't making music. She's building a world where heartbreak is dramatic, identity is celebrated, and authenticity is a non-negotiable. We live in a world where the only price to be the world's biggest pop star is your privacy, and Chappell Roan is not willing to pay. She has sparked outrage after sending security guards after her fans who simply want her autograph. She's been banned from performing in Rio after being mean to the wrong fan. And what the hell is she doing in the Hannah Montana special? What if we told you Chappell Roan's story of being the outcast in a small town isn't true at all? That she came from a wealthy family that paid her way into Grammy training summer camps, on private aircrafts, and so many more lavish things. We're going to break down Chappell Roan's real rise to fame and the events that have been happening lately.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Glitter Gel Pen.
It's really bright in here today, so I got my shades on.
Yes. Yes.
Because, listen, we'll just go with that. I'm like, no pictures, please, in honor of us talking about Chappell Roan today.
She loves to say that. And she'll send fans.
She'll send security after fans just to say that.
Yes. So a lot of outrage and controversy, if you will, has sparked over Chappell Roan being the most insufferable pop star.
Yes.
We on this channel have maintained this same opinion from the beginning.
It was not the popular opinion when we were saying it, but now it's like coming full circle, and I think that it is becoming the popular opinion.
It's 100% the popular opinion. And as more things have happened over the last week, there's more coming out about her backstory that is maybe letting us know that she's not the most authentic pop star and has not been true in her protest, if you will, moments at the Grammys and all of this stuff that's happened. But we are going to get into all that. We're going to start with how this new backstory of Chappell Roan is coming to light, that she's basically coming from an incredibly wealthy family. The new backstory is that she did not come from this small trailer park that her Wikipedia page may tell you that she did, but in fact a incredibly wealthy family that might have bought her way into the industry. Chappell Roan has been cosplaying as a struggling poor artist coming up, whether it was in her Grammy speech or just like hating the rich kind of thing. This first clip is her cosplaying as a poor artist.
Okay.
Fuck the Grammys. It's a fucking talent show for rich people. I hope they hear this. Look, I would have to like go to the Grammys, like, because my grandfather Chappell, who I named myself after, would be very upset with me if I didn't. I think I would go, but it would be like, I would do some sort of protest in like an outfit or like something. I would be like, fuck the Grammys. This is a joke. And then I'd walk off stage.
That's interesting from coming from the new Grammy darling, if you will. And so the next clip is Chappell Roan's Grammy speech where she won Best New Artist and discusses how she was not able to afford health insurance.
And that's a big point of contention here, health insurance.
Okay, so because it was of the Grammys, we can't put it in here because we would get copyright. So I'm just going to read you some quotes from this acceptance speech that she did. She said, quote, "I told myself if I ever won a Grammy, I would demand that labels would offer a livable wage and health care, especially to developing artists. I got signed so young, I got signed as a minor. And when I got dropped, I had 0 job experience and could not afford health insurance. It was devastating to feel so committed to my art and feel so betrayed by the system, so dehumanized to not have health insurance. Record labels need to treat their artists as valuable employees with a livable wage and health insurance and protection. Labels, we got you, but do you got us?"
We actually talked about this in an episode right after this happened. And I think like our opinion at that time, we did not know everything that we know currently that we're going over, but I think it was like, okay, I understand, but like, did we really have to do that? Kind of.
I just think the health insurance specifically is such a weird way to go because, like, whenever you go into a lot of industries, you know that it's not common for you to have like benefits like health insurance or things like that.
Yeah, there's actually there's so many people who with their job don't have health insurance. So do we really need to prioritize health insurance for people who are on the way to being and becoming successful millionaires? Is the thing.
Yeah, because I mean, any creative job isn't going to provide, if you're working freelance, if you're working like independently, it's like a cost of having that like more, I don't know, specific lifestyle that like you just don't have the benefits of like a stable job. So we kind of said in the beginning that it was even weird. That was like maybe her point or her thing that she wanted to protest, but it kind of makes sense now looking at like the clip of her from 2022 saying, if I were to go to the Grammys, I would be protesting something. And it's like, okay, well, she just picked something.
She had to find something to protest.
Yes, so that her words like didn't come back to bite her, which they kind of are anyway. She's referencing in the speech to her grandfather, Chappell, whom she named herself after, and a little bit about this man. And this is what people have dug up and has kind of became like the big controversy with her right now. His name is Dennis Chappell, and like just today, the Daily Mail, which is a pretty, well-known worldwide like news source, they reported Chappell Roan is outed as a hypocrite as her secretly rich family and privileged background is revealed amid backlash over hotel drama that left Jude Law's daughter in tears.
So her grandfather, Dennis Chappell, was the partner of an insurance company and owned the Silo Ridge Golf and Country Club in Missouri. So definitely not rags, like the rags to riches story that she likes to proclaim.
Yeah, and like also along with the golf course, he owned it was 20 luxury properties on that land in Missouri, all valued over $500,000.
Which I'm not even saying there's nothing wrong to me about starting with money,
Yeah.
I think that if your talent speaks for itself, that's fine. I don't really care what you started as, but it's just the fact that she's gone around saying these things the whole time.
Yeah. My other thought is, we don't know the size of her family. And sometimes just because your grandparents have money doesn't necessarily mean that you do. But I think where a lot of this is coming into conversation is because her grandfather, someone paid for her to go into the Grammys training camp, which is like a summer camp. It does cost $3,000 a week, which is where she met a lot of her industry friends. And that's not something that's super accessible to most people. So it's the paying for this and being involved in this while also hating being a celebrity is, I think, where people are like, what?
Yes, and she has this kind of eat the rich mentality when it's girl, you've been rich though,
Yeah,
and also she tried, it's she knew this, she knew what she was doing this whole time, because when she would talk about this Grammys training summer camp, she just referred to it as summer camp. She'd be like, yeah, I was at summer camp and blah blah blah, and they were like, oh, you went to a summer camp? And she's like, yeah, it was just a music summer camp. If you weren't trying to not mention that it was the Grammys summer camp, you would have just said Grammys,
Yeah, and maybe explain just more backstory, how you learned or anything. So it's just a little contradicting because she was saying that she couldn't afford health insurance, but also came from all of this wealth is I guess the general idea. And the son of her grandfather, which is her uncle, he is actually a conservative representative in Missouri that stands for everything that's opposite of what Chappell represents.
Which I will give her this, that I feel that everybody has, the far right,
far right in their
member, that's you might not agree with it, but they're your family and you're gonna see them, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and some people were saying, she's this feminist that stands for women's empowerment, but she named herself after a rich white man that gave her everything, which is interesting. Maybe no judgment. Maybe she just loved her grandpa and she just wanted to honor him by taking his name. But there's a quote from Chappell that says, I was so close to giving up. If I wasn't going to do music, then I would probably just go back home and be an esthetician and a drag queen. When you've been poor, you're not really scared of anything.
Interesting.
These are the comments that I'm like, why?
Yeah, It's because she wanted this big buildup of rags to riches. And that's what's biting her in the butt right now.
And it's also like, is it that you're not scared of anything because you're not afraid to be poor, or you're not afraid?
You know that your grandpa will fix it for you.
And you've got a security blanket, like of his funds that, you know, he passed away in 2016. So I'm sure the family has inherited his wealth at this point. So, and there's no telling, you know, which way it was distributed. Maybe she got none of it. Maybe her family didn't get anything. We don't know.
But she could afford $3,000 a week for the Grammys training camp. So we do know
that is not nothing.
Yeah.
So this all is coming to light and people are discussing it at the same time that this huge story is breaking that, you know, it's no secret that Chappell Roan publicly does not like to be photographed, anything. She doesn't want to be acknowledged as a celebrity, even though she has all the benefits of being one, like being on the Grammys, able to say these things, able to go to Fashion Week, able to get invited. So recently she was in Brazil to perform at Lollapalooza, and she was seeking privacy at her hotel while having breakfast. This was actually the same day as her performance at Lollapalooza, and a famous soccer player named Jorginho Freio posted about his experience with Chappell. It wasn't his direct experience, which I do think is like an important part of this story. It was his stepdaughter's experience, whom his wife was with when it happened. He claimed that Chappell's security aggressively confronted his 11-year-old stepdaughter at the hotel, claiming the child was wrongly accused of harassment, and that the man kind of came on a little bit too strong towards the child, that didn't actually go up to Chappell. And we'll learn that more whenever we hear of the mother's side of the story after the response has gone back and forth. And this isn't like a Chappell Roan exclusive hotel. So a little girl just saw Chappell Roan at breakfast. A little rich girl who is also staying at the hotel that Chappell Roan is at.
Yeah.
Because Chappell Roan is a rich girl. But it escalated whenever Eduardo Cavalieri, I'm assuming I'm saying that right, he tweeted and said, "I mean that as long as I'm in charge of this city, this young lady, Chappell Roan, will never perform at Todo Mundo no Rio. I doubt that Shakira would do that," by the way, referring to Jorginho. "Your little one is already the guest of honor from the organization in May."
So, banned.
Yeah, banned from Rio. So after this news broke, Chappell responded with this video.
This very sincere video.
I do not hate people who are fans of my music. I do not hate children. Like, that is crazy. I'm just gonna tell my half of the story of what happened today with a mother and child who were involved with a security guard who is not my personal security. I didn't even see a woman and a child. Like, no one came up to me. No one bothered me. Like, I was just sitting at breakfast in my hotel. I think these people were staying at the hotel as well. I did not ask the security guard to go up and talk to this mother and child. They did not come up to me. They weren't doing anything.
So interesting. She's like, I don't know what any of this is about. I didn't tell them to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I would never do that. I don't hate children. That's crazy.
It's also like...
Or my fans.
She could be telling the truth about this and be like, I didn't do that, whatever. But it's also like, she's having to respond in this way because she has created this, like... She's created this space for people to have issues with her.
I also think that it says something, like, about who she is as a celebrity if the security guard took it upon himself to think that he was acting on your behalf to go say that. I mean, I'm sure any other security guard for other celebrities, like, this wouldn't even have been a story, like, because it wouldn't have happened, because either if you did tell him to go talk to them, another celebrity wouldn't have done that, and then also they wouldn't have just immediately for another celebrity thought like, hey, she's gonna be mad, I need to go say something.
And I think it looks worse whenever you see this next clip, whenever you hear the mother's side of the story who was present at the situation. So this is the mother's response after Chappell Roan posted that.
Hi guys, good morning, bon dia. I wanted to say something because I'm getting so many messages about this now, and honestly I didn't realize it would get this crazy. But a lot of people ask me like what actually happened and everything else, and I know that Chappell has responded saying that it wasn't it wasn't her security and that she didn't do it. So 100% this security guard was not a security guard of the hotel. That's what I can say. He looks after artists. So I don't know if it was her personal security guard, but he was with her. So that is all I know. Did she send him to do it? Again, I don't know. Look, I would like to hope not, but at the same time, I think that you have a responsibility when you are a celebrity to make sure, I guess, that the people that work for you and that act on your behalf are acting on your behalf. So would he do that if he didn't have her authority to do so? I don't know. If he does, then obviously that's a big problem, because then he's representing her in a way that she doesn't want to be represented. So I think that's really important for her to notice and realize that's not correct. What happened, exactly as she said, she didn't notice anything or anyone because as my husband said, nothing happened. Literally, we were staying in the same hotel, we were at breakfast, and we noticed a girl walk past with long red hair, very curly, and I said to my daughter, "Oh, do you think that's Chappell Roan?" And she looked and she said, "Oh my God, Mum, do you think it's her?" And so she said, "I'm going to go and have a look outside." And she was sat just outside in the garden area, which we were also free to go into. The door was open. And so I went back to the table to sit and eat, and my daughter walked through the door. She didn't have her phone. She didn't try to take a picture. She didn't approach her. She literally didn't do anything. She just looked at her and smiled. And she came back and she actually said to me, "Mum, I don't know if it's her." Because obviously she looks like, with her costumes and everything, she looks a little bit different. So my daughter said, "Oh my gosh, I'm not sure if it was her. I think it was her, Mum. It really, really looks like her, but I don't know. Maybe it's her sister." She said, "Maybe it's her sister." And I said, "Oh, I don't know, darling." And that was it. We continued our breakfast. And from that, then came the security guard, who, as my husband said, had a very aggressive tone. And I feel like if she did not send him, even if she did send him or she didn't send him, I don't know. For me, I feel like it really overstepped a boundary, because he is quite an intimidating, he is very large. So for him to come over to a table with just a woman and her daughter eating breakfast, to kind of like berate and scold us and say that he was going to complain and tell me that I should be teaching my daughter to be better and that she's badly educated and we should respect people's privacy and we should not harass people and all of these other things. And I did try and explain to him the situation, that she's a child and she was just very excited to see her an artist and singer that she admires, and can he not understand that was all she was doing. And I explained to him also that my husband is also very well known, and that she's very used to being around people that are well known, and she would never cross someone's boundaries or overstep a mark. She very much knows the limits, not to ever be rude or make anyone feel. She understands very well. And I tried to explain this to him, and he just kept saying, "Well, if that's the case, then you should know better. You should know how it is. You should know how it is. So you should teach her to be better. You shouldn't allow her to be like this." And I was shocked. And I did actually say to him at the time, I said, "Well, if this is the case that she doesn't even want people to look at her, she is very welcome to eat breakfast in her room, because this here is a public area and I am a paying guest as well as her. So if I want to walk past someone's table and look at them, I have every right to do so. I am not approaching her. I'm not doing anything to make her feel intimidated or nothing. Like, it's an 11-year-old child. So, yes. This is the last thing I'm going to say about this now, because it's getting a bit crazy. But lots of people were sending me messages like, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? And then lots of messages now about, obviously, Chappell's message that she's put out. So I hope that she did not know, and I hope that she did not send her security over to do this. I really think that she's a very, very, very talented artist. We liked her a lot. We came all the way to Sao Paulo to watch the show. It was my daughter's birthday present. She actually asked for tickets to come for her birthday present, which was a little bit ruined because we didn't go to the show last night. But it's how it is. But yeah. Anyways, it's how it is. We'll say no more on it. That's it. I hope that maybe if it wasn't her, that she learns to not allow the people that work for her to treat people like this. And yeah, that's the end of it. My daughter's now arrived, so bye-bye.
So you can hear her side of the story, which is the most important one. Like, yes, her husband like posted and said that he had an issue with all this or whatever. He is a very like well-known and well-loved soccer player, especially in Brazil. So
Why are people talking about Jude Law?
It's Jude Law's daughter, which is who that woman we just watched the video of used to be married to.
Oh, okay. I thought that the guy
Who is that? Who is Jude Law?
beats me.
I know that name. So you've got this big love soccer player who's like coming out to like make a statement. He obviously was trying to like get people talking about it because he felt like his stepdaughter was mistreated, which I think is fair. To me, just from having this much information, it does seem like Chappell was like, that little girl walked past me and is like looking at me. Mm-hmm. I do think Chappell Roan should have ate breakfast in her room.
Yeah, I mean, given her track record,
yes.
Like, I would probably think that everything was blown out of proportion if this was a normal scenario.
Yeah.
But given Chappell's track record, I mean, we saw Paris Fashion Week just, 2 weeks ago? 1 week ago?
Long time. This is birthday. Yeah! Oh, for you, darling. Love you, Chappell. Love you, Chappell. Wait. Sorry, madam.
As a human, this is what it's like. So I'm just trying to go to dinner, and I've asked these people several times to get away from me.
Please step to the side. Step to the side.
This person I've asked several times to go away, and they will not. They're hiding their face because they're ashamed. Because I've asked them. These are all the people that are completely disregarding all of my
My first time to see you, Chappell. It's my first time to see you.
Then go away.
Happy to see you.
So I want all of you, I'm asking you kindly to please leave me alone and
Yeah,
stop
sure. Yes.
following me.
Can you give us something nice? Then we go home.
Thank you. No, I'm not going to sign.
Man,
Thank you so much.
Okay, no
This
problem.
is
You
what
have
it's
your
like
choice, yeah.
if you're wondering how it is.
And what you wearing?
It's impossible.
Chappell, you're fashion icon.
Fashion icon right now, Chappell.
Thank you for the vlog.
I don't put anything past her, okay? She hates when people know who she is, even though she's a pop star.
She hates it. And so there is this footage that has also surfaced after this has came to light where Chappell was saying she wouldn't, send security after her fan. This is a video of her sending security after a fan at the airport.
It's muted because, once again, copyright, but we see her pointing out the fan right here, and then we see her security guard pointing at the fan as well.
Just more contradictions.
And it is not illegal to film someone walking through the airport.
No, you're in a public area.
Yes. And you're famous. You are rich. There are perks to what is happening that you have to kind of accept. At least I think you should.
Yeah.
And someone posted on TikTok, I didn't see any actual facts, so I do want to say that. But a creator on TikTok, did say that there was more information that came out that Chappell Roan did have connection to this security guard, which would debunk more of what Chappell Roan was saying. But I just think, knowing how she is about fame and everything, I believe this woman.
Yeah.
That she is saying this happened. And she's like, I don't know if it was Chappell's security guard or if she sent her, but odds are that she did. Mm-hmm. That's
I think so too. Yeah, I mean, everything here is just a big contradiction, like that we've talked about today. It's just crazy when everything that she's ever said just starts unraveling and like veiling itself to be untrue. And I think that's continuing.
Yes. So after like knowing all this information, like learning more, I just wanted to reinsert when she was presenting Best New Artist at the 2026 Grammys and kind of just like her stature and like the way she was carrying herself and like talking and like making like faces at the teleprompter as if she was struggling, even though like no one else has ever squinted their eyes at the teleprompter at the Grammys. Kind of just being a little insufferable might be the right word.
Yet again, we can't use this clip because it's from the Grammys and we would get copyright. But here's a screenshot of her squinting at the teleprompter.
And then here is a clip of Chappell Roan at the VMAs when she told a photographer to shut the F up and responded by saying, "Not me, bitch." Here's that clip.
Right, wait, please. You need a little weed. I gotta shut the f up. This is fine. Hey! Yeah! Yo.
Chappell! And here's another clip at the Guts premiere where Chappell Roan was demanding an apology.
Chappell, right in front of you. Chappell, right in front of you.
You were so disrespectful. Here we go. You yelled at me at the Grammy party at this stage and at the university. I remember. You were so rude to me. And I deserve an apology. Yeah. Yep. No.
And honestly, she could have just like not done this and just moved on, as most celebrities do, and they don't care about other people's whatever. So I did want to include another take.
Because obviously we have a certain one, and we're on one side of the spectrum here. But, you know, we like to hear all sides to kind of inform us better and make up our mind, hear different perspectives. So
Yes. And it is important to know, I did fact check this next video. Chappell Roan left her previous management agency in February of 2026 after realizing the person that she was working under was involved in the Epstein files.
Which I will say, okay, we've been seemingly talking a lot of crap today, okay? I will say, good for her.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people might not do that, but she did, so that's good.
Here's another take on that.
One of my friends just very intelligently pointed out that the hate for Chappell Roan recently is not just another case of people hating Chappell Roan for fun. It's very possible that it's actively a smear campaign, which could be a response to the fact that she recently left her management company and explained the reason why is because she found out that they were included in the Epstein files and she called them out for it. People who aren't going to believe this just are never going to believe this. They're never going to believe that people would hire media companies and bot accounts to smear famous celebrities, especially women, but it happens. You don't have to believe it. I'm not going to convince you, but it does happen. My friend group started talking about all of the evidence that points to the fact that this could be a smear campaign. Not only are the comments that I see very bot-like, all very repetitive, all very similar, everyone's saying the same thing, which yes, does happen on the internet because nobody can form their own opinion anymore, but also it's not like copy-paste. People say the same opinion, they don't say the same exact phrase, and a lot of the comments I'm seeing that are Chappell Roan hate are very same phrase. We're just copy-pasting this thing from different bot accounts. But also this video that's circulating that's like, oh, Chappell Roan wouldn't sick her security on fans. Look it, she just did it in the airport last month. First of all, if she did it in the airport last month, we would have heard about it. Second of all, that video is so clearly a paparazzi video. Third of all, when you see something like this where one account is reposting the exact same content multiple times with different sounds, with slightly different captions, it usually points to the fact that it is a fake account that is being used to spread some form of propaganda. You don't have to believe it, you don't have to like it, you don't have to agree with it, you don't have to like Chappell Roan for all I care. But the fact is that things like this do happen. They happen to women in the industry, they happen to people who speak out in the industry, and Chappell Roan has always been a very independent artist who speaks her mind. The reality is she's most likely being punished for speaking out because people who speak out in Hollywood are often punished because if you do not follow the rules of the game, then the moguls that run Hollywood want to exclude you.
So with that, like, I don't disagree that it could possibly be a smear campaign, but the thing with a smear campaign is like she still has said all these things that we have talked about. She still has claimed this rags to riches story. We know she doesn't like paparazzi and doesn't like fan interactions. Like, we know that these things are true.
Yeah.
So like, while the airport one could be part of a smear campaign, or all the comments talking bad about her could be part of a smear campaign. The fact lies that she did do and say all of these things that we've talked about.
Yeah, and I don't think any of this would even be a discussion if it hadn't been this like ongoing thing with Chappell Roan that whenever, you know, she sees someone she has a problem with, she starts the drama on a red carpet with 80 cameras pointed at you. Or, you know, with Fashion Week, she's there for press, she's there for attention, and when she gets it, she is outraged by it. So I don't think we would be discussing any of this if that wasn't the way that Chappell decided to present herself. There is one other take that I just wanted to highlight. It's the Taylor Talks podcast. They just kind of gave a different perspective to what we've just said throughout this video, so I just wanted to watch it and then we could discuss.
Okay.
Chappell Roan out here terrorizing children again.
Oh my gosh, she kicked a child in the gut and called her ugly.
She said, "Get this child out of here before I eat her." Ah! It's gotten to the point where I'm on Chappell's side right now. Like, I can't see
I'm
a
sorry,
world.
so am I.
It's like, it's too far. Like, we know she is done nothing but make it very clear that she has boundaries about being approached and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So people judge her for those reasons.
Yeah.
This situation is separate, in my opinion.
Totally.
From all that.
100%
People
agreed.
can't see through it,
They
so they're just jumping on. And it's pissing me off a lot.
It's pissing me off too. And it's annoying how like her boundaries with the paparazzi has like bled into like her personality and her attitude towards her fans.
Right.
I have never heard a story of Chappell Roan being rude to a fan.
Never.
Always with paparazzi getting in her grill, being abrasive and being rude.
Yes.
Clearly there was some sort of miscommunication with this kid and the mom, and the
Oh
mom
my
told the
God.
dad, and the dad got pissed, so he posted on his Instagram story. I really think that this kid like just didn't get a picture with Chappell Roan, so the mom was pissed and she was like, I'm gonna make it everybody's problem.
Then they tell this story to their famous football player husband,
Who's like the most beloved man in Brazil.
and this is really where my issue is.
Yeah, it's the husband's fault.
He posted online saying, "Do not support this artist.
Yeah.
She was horrible to my daughter." Fabricated reality.
Yeah.
To turn an entire country against Chappell Roan.
Yeah.
You have a sense of responsibility as a famous person
Yeah.
like this soccer player, who, by the way, is more famous than Chappell Roan. In the soccer world, it's a different world,
Yes.
especially in Brazil.
He is
especially
like
whatever.
literally like a
Yes.
god in Brazil.
Yeah, for him to be as irresponsible
Yes.
as that, to post in that way, I think is such a gross misuse of your fame.
Yeah.
Because you were told a story by your wife. I'm sorry that your child got yelled at by an overzealous security guard. It's not Chappell Roan's fault that that happened.
At the end of the day, it was not Chappell who went up to this kid.
Exactly.
It was a security
It was
guard.
nuts.
She cannot control what somebody else does.
No, I
People
really
get
don't.
so like personally offended as if she had like attacked
As if she
their
hit
own
your
child.
kid in the face.
Yeah.
It's like, shut up. Get off your
like, you
fucking
don't
high
know
horse,
what
really.
happened.
You don't know what happened. And
Yeah.
by the way, she wasn't involved. Like,
Get behind me, Chappell Roan.
no, literally get behind me, Chappell. Like,
we'll protect you.
I just don't agree at all with any of
Okay.
that. I think that, you know, they're like, she hasn't had bad interactions with fans. Fans are scared of her, okay?
Yeah.
They're scared, and she likes it that way. She said she likes that everybody's scared of her. She's like, they're just like scared of me.
I don't think like it's a fair thing to like expect people to support your music and support all of this while being like, if you exist in front of them, like they're afraid of you.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't.
So, like, obviously, you probably haven't had many bad experiences with the fans because they don't come up to you because you've made it known that you're not down for that, and they don't want to like piss you off, which is crazy work, honestly. And
The thing I agreed with them on was I do think the dad going to Instagram and the way that he told the story and telling people not to support this artist when you are super impactful and getting, you know, government officials behind you saying, yes, you're banned from performing in Rio. I think that's a lot, but it's also like,
But I mean, doesn't she misuse her platform all the time by the Paris Fashion Week when she starts filming other people instead of just walking into the freaking restaurant to get away from people? She makes it everybody else's problem, and she's a huge pop star. She misuses hers all the time.
I also wonder, you know, this became news because the daughter was the daughter of someone who was well known. How many people have had a similar experience to where they're scolded by her security guards? Yes, it might not be Chappell physically saying the words. They are representatives and extensions of her because they work for her. How many people have had this experience as a non-famous person or a person without connections with the ability to like platform and like tell your side of the story and like share what's going on. How many times has that happened before this? Because if this was her security guard, if they did do this, there's no way they were comfortable enough to do it in this like super berating, rude way, in a way that was the first time that's ever happened. Mm-hmm. That's my thoughts on it.
Same. I think that too. So, yeah, I mean,
Chappell Roan is a rich girl. She's from riches to riches, and
she's
not me, bitch.
She's rude. She's rude.
Yeah.
So that's where we stand on this. And I mean, hey, we might get some hate comments, but nothing we're not used to.
The one thing that I think is a little blown out of proportion, and I get, I tried to share the facts here to not be like so, I don't know, just building a big negative narrative, but we don't know how much of her grandfather's money she received. We don't know how much her grandfather's wealth actually affected her life because we don't know what that relationship is like at all. We know she went to Grammy camp, and that's kind of the extent of it. I don't think it's super fair for people to think that she having conservative family members is a fraud. I don't think that stuff is the most fair.
No, I don't think so either, because I think every person,
we've all got some conservatives in the family.
I think literally everyone has someone like that, like or multiple people, like, so I don't think it's anything to do like with that. It's just like that what you have built this whole time, and the narrative of like you don't want fan interactions, you don't want paparazzi interactions, like get them to not do that. Like they feel comfortable doing that on your behalf, and it's because you've made it that way. So even if you're not the one who walked up and said that, they're part of your team, and they think it's okay because you've made them think it's okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree. And it's just, I mean, this is Chappell Roan just reaping what she sowed. So, yeah, that's our opinions. Let us know what you think about Chappell Roan being a rich girl.
Nicely in the comments, please. We love discourse, but maybe don't be mean.
We have been, and I'm just going to say, whenever we had 11 subscribers, Jill sat on that couch and goes, she is not cut out for this life of fame. And here we are with almost 1,200 subs. We appreciate it.
Yes, we really do. We started from rags to riches. Okay.
We're almost still in the rags.
Yeah, we are.
We got a studio now.
We're rags to elevated rags right now.
We're washed rags.
Yeah.
we took a shower.
Oh, yep. Laundry's almost done.
Well, back to you, Chip.
If you like content like this, deep dives, hot topics, reactions, pop culture, internet culture, all the things, we would love it if you would subscribe. And because we're so thankful for everybody that's here.
We're so grateful. But we upload new videos every single week, so we will talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.